Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Dream Stream of Consciousness. I am Yiskah Cook.
And I'm Ellen Ronis.
So we're here to share our dreams. And yet again, I want to impress it on people that as close as we are with our dream sharing, this is when we talk. You know, we do have a relationship outside of our dreams, Ellen. I
Mhm.
feel like I could really share
Absolutely.
pretty much anything with you. But I've always noticed that people in my dream group, I knew their dreams. I remember their personal mythologies, but I don't know if they work or if they've kids, if they're married. We know each other better than that because
Yes.
we've been
Yes,
working
we do.
together.
Right. We're friends. But I think I know, I think I know what you're saying is that when we
Yes,
share on this level, we know things that are deep and real about somebody, but we don't really know like their outer life, their in a
very,
way.
very much so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
I know that's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah.
yes,
And to me, that's the juice. Like that's the stuff.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that's the stuff
yes,
that's interesting about a person is all of that,
yeah, yes.
that
Well,
vulnerability
let's
and
dig up some interesting things about you.
oh, oh goody.
Do you
Again.
have a
Okay, well, here goes. I will share this dream that I sort of prayed for a dream, actually, and
Okay,
to sort of, guide me in the next right step, which is always a good prayer to say before we go to
absolutely.
bed, and,
That's
uh,
really the only prayer I
yeah,
constantly will incubate.
yeah.
It's guidance on the next step.
Just next little baby step. Doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. Just what's next? Um, so the dream goes like this. I have a small role in a play. I think it was the Nutcracker with a very large cast. But for some reason, we hadn't rehearsed since January, and it was many months after that. It was the evening of the play, and I had been in a dance class earlier and then was ready for the play, but I couldn't remember who my character was, what her name was. I knew she stood stage right, clustered with a few other cast members, but I couldn't remember anything about my part. I knew I had a few lines to say, and I couldn't remember the lines. Um, I wanted to just like not show up. I just wanted to kind of like not go. Like it had been so many months. Like who cares? I don't know. There's so
Right?
many people in the play. No one's going to miss me. I don't have a lead role. And I was frantically running around looking for the director, who I also couldn't remember who the director was. I was like, I don't even know who I'm looking for. It was like way. I ran around looking for the director and asked several different women in costume if they knew where she was, if they knew if they were her, because I also didn't know who the director was. Finally, I found her and told her that I had completely forgotten everything and could I just not show up? Could I just not go? Like I was asking her permission, since I had such a small part. And she said it wouldn't be good because I did have a few lines and they were necessary in the play. So just prior to this, as I was running around looking for the director, I
Right.
came across a little area where there were like these kind of what do you call them? This high tables, like a bar type table. They
Okay.
call it. And my a friend of mine um, was there, and she was looking very different from herself. She looked like a much younger version, and like a
Okay.
very younger version, and she was wearing a very specific particular outfit. It was like a romper. It was black and a romper, like shorts that connected to the top, and it was
Yeah.
very satiny and like a blousey kind of top. It was really pretty and and she was very confident. She might have even been smoking a cigarette. She doesn't smoke, but she came, jumped off her chair, and like she surprised me. She was coming to see the show,
Oh, wonderful.
and she gave me a gift, like something wrapped in this red wrapping paper. And then the next scene is I'm like, I gotta go because I have to get ready for the play. I gotta go home. take a shower, find my stuff, and find my costume, whatever that was. And so I like whatever run home. And when I'm home, it looked as though somebody had been in my house. I could see like somebody was rummaging through my kitchen cabinets, and I saw
Huh.
a little snippet of that red paper. And then I was like, oh, she came to my house and she wrapped the present at my house. And her cat was, she had brought her cat and her dog. And there was a little mouse that came through the pillows that was so cute. That was super random, the mouse. Um, she would bring her animals. She's very, very, very much an animal person. So,
Okay.
and I think that was it.
I have so many questions.
And so there was really no conclusion to the dream. I just, ran home and was frantically trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to like do to get ready.
Yes.
Oh, and also one other specific thing was that
Yes.
before I left, the theater area looking for the people and finding my friend here, was I looked when the director said, yes, you need to, because it's
Important
important,
lines.
right? Your lines are important. And I looked at the clock, and it was 5 minutes to 8. And 8 o'clock was supposed to be the start of the show. So I actually was like, how am I going to get home and shower and dress and come back? But I did it anyway, but I ran out. So I don't know what happened.
Okay. So in the dream, I never run back in.
I never
I
go back.
get showered, I get dressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't even actually know that I showered, but that was the intention.
Yeah, okay.
The dream ends where I'm just kind of like, whoa, there's her cat and her dog and the
Yeah.
little house, and like she's been here, and that was a little weird because she doesn't have my key. I haven't seen her in a very long time. She doesn't live near me anymore, and but so that was when the dream ended.
I have thoughts about this. No, well, if I'm seeing my friend,
Okay.
acquaintance, as a younger woman, so does the dreamer know her from younger? Is
No,
it
I don't know
okay?
her younger.
So that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Just to imagine a little bit of
yeah.
who she was as a younger
I
woman.
think we've probably talked about it, like how,
Yes,
because as our bodies age and we put on a little more
sure,
weight, go gray and this and that. And I
sure.
remember her sharing with me that she was really fit and really slim when she was younger and had this like,
Oh, uh-huh.
and so somehow, yeah, I don't know why that was in my psyche.
Yeah, I love when the day residue
Yeah,
kicks
yeah.
in. Hey.
And
So,
and
yeah,
I'm wondering if we should do the lightning dream work, because since this is how we're sort of, this is what we're teaching.
sure. I'll lead you through it proper.
I don't know
So,
why I feel like, yeah, maybe do.
I'm happy to do that. What do you have a title for this dream, or what would you title it?
Um, let's title it. Ooh, um, I don't know. Um, I want to say run away because I think I
Run away.
felt like running away. I felt like
Okay,
not facing it, whatever it was, not facing.
okay, okay. That
Yeah.
tells us a lot. So, if what is it that you're wanting to know from the dream as we unpack it more? What will you be looking for?
Um, so many things I'm curious about.
Okay.
Why hadn't we rehearsed the play for so long?
Yes.
Um, yeah, like had yeah, just that, like that, like
Yes.
what happened in the interim? Why did we wait? Uh,
Yes.
what was I in the play?
Yes. Oh, not Nutcracker.
Yeah, and then I mean that was a little bit less important because I felt like I had like one of the chorus parts,
Okay.
on the background,
Yes.
clustered with the other people on stage, right? Like,
Oh, right. That's what you say.
and also like, yeah, what was my friend, that particular friend, doing there? What was the gift? Why?
Yes.
I don't know. Just the whole thing. I'm really not. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just yeah, kind of pulling it apart a little bit, I guess.
So I'm looking at my friend's qualities. Is
Mhm.
she spontaneous? Is she, you know, a gift giver? Is she
She's a,
empathetic?
yeah, she's a good gift giver.
Hmm.
um, she likes nice things. She's not um, I would not call her spontaneous
Okay.
necessarily. She loves animals more than most humans.
I
You know,
get it.
very, very connected to animal rights and all of that kind of thing, rights activists. And
Wonderful.
I think, I might have been thinking of her because there's a little possibility that I might go visit this summer. So
Okay.
there might be a little detritus in my mind, about
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Why her?
In San Diego?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yeah. Actually, in Maine.
Upstate East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't help but think of, oh, you want to go in order. Okay, dear Ellen, please give us a reality check. Tell me what are the things, both
Reality.
animate and inanimate, that
Yeah. So everything in the dream could be possible. Like there wasn't anything
okay,
in life or weird in that way. Um, the house that I went to that was supposedly my house is not a house that I know.
okay,
And it was a kind of a peculiar size and shape. It was a kind of a long, narrow place with
okay,
cupboards, and so it's not a place that I've ever seen before. The theater
okay,
was the theater. It felt like a theater that I've seen and known and maybe been in, but not a specific one.
okay.
Um,
Have you done community theater?
I did theater when I was in high school.
Hmm.
I was usually one of the choral parts. I was never the lead. I was always
Okay,
like, which I didn't want to be.
right. No, I true
So I
that.
was like, the chorus girl or the person in
Yes,
town chatting with someone, or whatever. Um, but it was fun. It was always a lot of fun doing that.
yes, yes. Okay. So,
I guess I
now,
guess I guess I want to just backtrack for a second. That one of the things I really want to know is why was I so like, I mean, I guess because I had forgotten things, but I was so wanting to just get the heck out of there. Like I was,
yes. Oh, right. That's
and,
just very interesting.
and the fact that I was looking for the director, like why didn't I just go if I didn't want to be? But I think that I had a sense of responsibility or something.
I love that, and then the director, I'm sure she's a woman. Like, I don't know which woman she is.
It was a
I,
woman.
I love it. I love that. I
Yeah.
didn't expect that. That was unexpected.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was unexpected. I mean, I guess I was looking for permission. Ah, okay.
Yes.
Yes. If so, maybe it's riffing time now because now I just
Yeah, yeah, you got it.
I got something like I'm asking for permission. Like, why am I asking for permission? Like from
Right.
higher up,
Yeah. I just had a conversation with a friend, and she's like, "We're all grown up now." I said, "Yep, we're grown." She said, "We can do whatever we want." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So let me think about what that means for me in my life.
Uh,
Um, Asking permission. Yeah, there's a part of me that still feels maybe I need to, even though both of my parents are deceased, I don't want to, what word am I looking for? Disappoint them? I don't think that's the word I'm really looking for. Because I don't think they'd get disappointed. They're both,
right.
in my imagination, way beyond that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And my mom always was. And I think dad is now too.
Yeah. Um, yeah. There's also some specific things. January before I don't know that just that it was weird.
Oh, right. And
I,
then September, what was
well,
the
I don't know. I guess it was like now or something, and so it was a
okay,
month after. Like there was maybe
okay.
between the last time we rehearsed and this.
So okay, ooh, juicy. So that makes me wonder what I was doing if I'm the dreamer in January, that maybe now is the time to act on, pun intended.
Excuse me!
Ooh, and if you sneeze, that means it's true.
Exclamation point.
Yeah.
Um, Can you say that again?
Yes, it's if we stopped rehearsing in January. So what is it that I started a project, something, and with my creativity in January, and then it's not until
Oh,
July that it's played out.
so maybe go back to some of my, I have a list of things that I wrote on my wall, like,
Okay.
year kind of, not like
Yeah.
just projects that
Oh,
are
that's right. The new year.
a great idea to go back and see if there's anything that I can take an action on.
Right?
Right?
That's
Even if I
wonderful.
feel like I've forgotten how to do it, like maybe, I can just go
Hmm.
away. I guess
Right.
also the woman, the director, like if you look at the dream as I'm all the people,
Yes.
I
Yes.
say, this I'm checking in with my own authority. Like, is it okay
Right.
to just leave? Well, not really,
Yeah.
because you're an integral part of the show.
Right.
So my value is not to not disappoint people, but just not, my value is to do what I said I was going to do.
Right.
So
I
maybe
like that she calls me on that.
yes,
Well, you made a commitment, and your part actually is important.
yes.
And then, oh, okay. Oh, so I'd also look at something in my life that might feel, if I've questioned, ooh, was I being manipulated? I would
Uh-huh.
just wonder.
Hmm.
Just my dream.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was going to say before. Did you ever see the movie like Cats and Dogs? It's with
I don't,
Janine Garofalo and
yes,
Uma
yes,
Thurman.
yes,
You
yes. Is
know,
that like Must Love Dogs or something like that? That show?
I don't remember details of it, but I remember the name. And then, two very different women, um, and that reminded me of my friend bringing her animals to my house. If would I see myself as the dog or the cat, and would I see her as? I would just play with that a little.
Yeah. And this another random bit was this little mouse. It was like the very end.
Right, right.
So the cat
He,
had been sitting on the couch, and she jumped off to greet me. And
yeah.
there were kinds of pillows on the couch, and there's this little mouse that just peeks out and then comes
The
back.
the
And it was
mouse
cute.
is there for comic effect.
Maybe, yeah.
That's that's cute. And the cat wasn't at all interested in
Not
chasing the
really.
mouse.
I guess they were, growing up together. Kind of. That was just seemed very random. Uh,
Yes.
um, yeah.
And you didn't really say traits of this friend that I might emulate. Is there anything that seems familiar about her that I also am like in some way or another?
There was a kind of confidence that she had in the dream. I mean, I don't know
Okay.
her to necessarily, I mean, she's has confidence, but
Sure.
not quite. There was almost a cockiness, like you can be when you're
Like the younger her.
young and cute, and
Absolutely.
know, um, and so she had a little bit of that. And
Yes.
what is that saying to me? I don't know. Maybe there's something in remembering, although I don't know that I was ever really quite like that, but,
Okay.
with that kind of confidence.
Right.
Um, but I don't know, youth, and
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I wonder, and this is just me throwing out total projection, because my son and my daughter-in-law just celebrated their first anniversary,
Mhm.
and I'm bringing them up. Why? Hang on a second. Well, I just feel that that's the age, and if this is the age of this character, younger, and I didn't know her when she was younger, there's a question in me, is like, is this my daughter? Or is she like a daughter figure in my life?
Hmm. Or is it just an earlier version of myself? I don't know.
Yeah, very, very good questions.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like she's a daughter. I mean, it feels like
Yeah,
in dream, it feels like she's my friend. She's just my
yeah,
friend, which she
yeah,
is in waking
yes.
life. and she just happens to look like that and be,
Okay.
no, she is younger, but she looks like
Yes.
um,
Yes.
I she and I are always talking about health and diets and this kind of thing. And I don't know, the fact that she was very thin
Yes.
in the dream makes me just wonder if there's also some kind of thing that's like me processing something about that in my mind. You know,
And does that make me feel worried that she's so thin? Am I worried about her health?
no, she looked fantastic.
Oh, okay.
She looked great, and waking life, we all are not that
We're
anymore.
getting older. Woohoo.
Oh, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I do kind of wonder. I don't know. I like the spontaneity of that. I like her spontaneity in the dream. And so again, if she's a
Yes.
part of herself,
Yes.
um, this younger part of myself who's really beautiful and confident
Yes.
is giving me a gift.
I want to open that gift.
I think it was a bottle. I seem to think it was like a liquor bottle, like a wine bottle,
Ooh, oh,
bottle, but it was
nice.
a shaped package.
Nice.
Um,
Thanks for answering
it's
that.
fantastic. And it was red, very, like red,
The
shiny.
red, yeah, I can picture that for sure. And
And
now
she showed up
she showed
spontaneously.
up to this performance that I'm about to be a part of
Yeah.
to watch the performance.
Yes. Yes. Like she knew I was in this play, and
Okay.
she just,
And she brought me, oh, she brought me like a congratulatory
yeah, something like,
gift. That's amazing to me. I'm feeling like if I do perform in this show, I'm feeling like there's sort of a rite of passage experience happening.
hmm,
I find that so much like life, and that's why I love the movie or the show, The Greatest American Hero, because he gets the suit, but he loses the directions, the instruction manual, so he doesn't know what to do. And in a way, that's a really good metaphor for us here
hmm,
on Earth. The UFO drops us off, and and what do we do now? We got to figure it out.
yeah. I'm not sure how that's related to the dream, but
Well, just because so many times, I've dreamed about I'm in a play and I don't know the lines. I've dreamed that, that's familiar to me. And
right.
and to
Okay, well,
seeing that
yeah, that is interesting.
in
Yeah.
exact, like, not exact, but like as above, so below, as without, so within. So yeah, so it feels to me similarly.
Interesting way to look at that. Yeah, I was just about to be curious about that aspect of the dream. Like,
The acting.
why did I don't know, why did I forget the lines? Why was it, did I just kind of why was it so gone from my consciousness,
Maybe I just wanted to improv.
And also like the fact that I'm in a play is kind of in, like people have said, oh, the world is a stage, and
That's right, right.
it's just all acting.
Bates says that.
Who says that?
All the world's a play.
Yeah.
William Bates.
Ah, right. Okay.
So, and I
So,
feel like that so strongly that,
mm,
we come here. Oh, and here's what I wanted to share, and I think I've shared this on this pod before, but one of my teachers, Dr. Stephen Larson, um, traveled a lot, with his family, his wife, his children, and when they went to Japan and they stayed a little while, and he said the way people ask after each other in Japan is, "What are you playing at these days? What are
mm,
you playing?" Like everything is about playing, but not necessarily fun. I'm not, and like I imagine Japan is kind of a stressful culture, but I think that what are you playing at says it all.
that's such a great question. And what I'm playing at, actually, if I look at myself and the role of the play, was it doesn't even matter what the specific role was, but that my authority, something in my own authority, told me that yeah, that little line or two is significant, and that maybe, there's something in it like I'm significant, like just
Yeah,
because
yeah, oh yes.
oh,
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah. No, you're I'm not needed here. Well, yes, you are needed
kind of
here.
in the background, but it's still important.
Yeah, yes.
That does kind of relate to some things that I had been musing on, and
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, I could see that and also, and then the double exclamation point. I'm given a congratulatory gift, you
mhm.
know, and we gonna get drunk tonight. No, I'm just kidding. So, I mean, I love so many aspects of the stream. So if I'm the director. Well, who are all these other women? They're all connected to the theater as well.
Yeah, there was, I mean, really the only, yeah, there were a couple of women that were in costume, and there, so
Oh,
although
so presumably in the play.
I was asking them, are you the director?
Yes, yeah.
Crazy, not, crazy, but interesting thing that I don't remember the director. Like,
Okay. Ah,
what?
hello. Oh, look, it makes my hand disappear. Hel- Hello, I'm the director.
The director.
You, these are not the droids you are looking for. You're the director.
Wow, that's
Y-
really significant.
I'm sorry, projective dreamer. This is my dream. I would be so excited because I feel like I am the director.
Yeah, yeah. And it's almost like my conscience said, no, you can't quit. You can't run away. Like you
Yeah,
made a commitment, and
that's right.
it's important in the bigger picture, and it's like I don't know, maybe I was thinking about jumping off the play of life.
Oh, right. I know. Well, I'm leaving.
Sometimes don't there's sometimes just things get so not okay in
Yeah.
the world or external world, whatever. My external world is just fine. Internal world's another story. But sometimes it gets to the point where you're just like, yeah, I have never had any kind of suicidal intentions
Right,
whatsoever.
right.
Sometimes I don't want to do this anymore. And it just means I don't want to do this exact thing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I want to die tomorrow. It means
No,
that I am being discerning about,
opposite means that I really want to live instead of,
exactly. And I'm so grateful to be alive. I
yeah.
definitely understand that feeling.
So I'm glad that my authority, my inner director directed me to, to continue being in the play
I
and
love that.
getting up on the stage, that is like maybe my life, let's say. I mean, the
That's right.
actor, I don't know why
All the world's a stage,
play.
and all the men and women merely players.
Yeah.
William Butler Yeats.
Mhm.
It's like that didn't sound right. Okay, so now this is a phenomenal dream, and I want to ask you, is there a way you can take this dream forward? Or we can ask, how can you honor this dream? Or have you already done any writing around it? Like, what are your intentions with this dream?
Tensions with the stream. I think I really want to like take in all the different parts that are like likely a part of myself. You know,
Yes.
I mean, there are, as we know, as you know, many different ways to explore a dream.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Prophesizing the future, it could be,
Hmm.
but I that works for me to look at all the people in the
Yeah.
being a part
You're
of.
very much a thinker, and I think I'm a little bit heavy on that side as well. Um, it would be nice to also just, that's why I love Robert Moss's drumming circles,
Mhm.
because just with just meditating with the drum,
Get out of your head for sure.
it gets you out of your head into your heart, right?
Well, I mean, and that's so okay. So that's interesting too, because I have been also meditating on my heart because I've been feeling a little.
Yes, yes,
I'd like to let all these characters in. I'd like to let
yes.
them all in. Like, just let them all in and see like that inner authority and that, you know, young confident one, and maybe all the other people in the play that have some little bit roles that are all
Yeah.
important. And
Yes.
um yeah, so I think I kind of want to, I mean, that's still thinking. That's still thinking, but
It is, but sometimes thinking will get us
yeah. Or
deeper for sure.
yeah, like maybe like writing about it and seeing.
Yeah, that in itself is sort of unconscious dream.
Yes.
If you're like automatic writing.
Yeah, yes, and I have been doing what I'm calling channeling. I actually
Yeah.
do,
Oh, yes.
and it's basically right. It's kind of, it's hard to know whether I'm actually channeling guides or I don't get the clear visuals, but
Or I just have a really good imagination.
yeah, and as it's been said, it doesn't really
It
matter
doesn't really matter.
where it's coming from. And sometimes I get some pretty interesting, unusual things coming through.
Okay.
Maybe I'd like to do some of that, like ask my soul, as it were,
Yeah.
question, like what are these? What's the significance of these pieces of myself, or what? I don't know. Just ask something about that. What can you tell me about this?
Did you ever study subpersonalities?
Not really.
Angelus, but you know what that is? It's like different sides of ourselves. And then they made that movie In or Out. In
Like super ego and all that.
in or out. Yeah, and there was joy and sadness and all these, well, this was a little different, I suppose. These were the emotions.
Mhm.
And it also sounds like that to me. It's like all of the parts of myself. I want to kind of bring them inside, bring them into my heart.
Which is also interesting because it's a lot like the IFS work that I think I've mentioned.
Yeah, yes,
I don't know that much about it. I just, I have a book and I know about it, but I'm not studied in it
right, yes, yes,
very much, because it's very much about, looking at the different parts that are in us, the young one, the protector, the warrior, the different pieces that
the
have.
old wise one,
Hmm?
the
Well, it's,
old
it's not,
wise one.
not so much like, I mean, there is all of that. There is all, well, yeah, it can be really anything, but it's
Okay,
see how those parts have come into play to protect us, to keep us safe. And
yes,
sometimes they're still on. They're still on. They don't know that they can stop.
right,
And like you don't have to run like the young
right,
got abandoned or whatever. It's
right.
she's running the show sometimes, and so
Yeah,
you can potentially move through life thinking I'm
she was me earlier when I
oh,
went to a first care because I dropped something on my foot and I think I broke a bone or something. Great, great pain. And I went to the first care and they wouldn't take me
hmm, why?
because I have Medicaid as like a copay. And I was like, well, don't even worry about that. I have Medicare because I have federal disability. And I said, I'll just pay out of pocket for the other 20%. And and they wouldn't let me. And so I let that little girl just like it was satisfying to me. I just had to drop an F bomb one time, and it not at anyone. I didn't say that to anyone. I
That's
was just,
fine. You're expressing
I
your
was just.
anger. It's okay.
So
We can.
I'm just saying the little girl was running the show, and then the more patient woman came, and all was fine and all was well. So
So they did see you after
no,
all.
they didn't. I had to go to a different place.
Wow. I mean, that would just make the adult in me, like, I don't know that
Yeah.
that's exactly the child. I mean,
No,
it's
I know. I'm just talking about my, this experience. Thanks for listening. Sorry. I'm just I'm just pointing out that if I own all of the parts of myself,
yeah.
different
The parts
outcomes
are
are going to
usually more,
happen.
yeah, I don't know how to really say any more about it, but yeah, it's usually that like our habitual response to things or our triggers, the things that trigger us. It's like,
Yeah.
why does it trigger me? Because, oh, something, there's some part of me that is, you know, it's not the resource self, the self,
Yeah.
that higher self that
Right.
knows. that you don't need to get triggered or
Yes.
anyway, I don't want to talk more about it because I don't really know how to talk,
Okay,
but
that's fine. That's fine. So,
taking it,
right.
so it just made me think of that. That's all. But
Sure, sure.
yeah,
So, well, thank you for sharing the stream. It
thank you
really
so
has a
much.
lot in it.
Yeah, it does feel kind of juicy. Um, yep.
Is there anything else you would like to know about this stream?
Um, no, I mean, probably, but I feel like it's too, I don't know.
Just learning I'm the director. I'm good. I'm the
I feel
director.
like that's kind of a big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels like the crux of it for right now.
For me as well. I would
Like,
just want to explore like what are my associations to nutcracker.
yeah, I don't know that I have one.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of it.
I have
I,
one because my friend's daughter dances in a ballet of the Nutcracker
that's,
every winter.
I mean, I think I saw the Nutcracker once when I was a teenager or something at
Yeah,
radio music hall. um,
it's
don't know.
interesting too if it's my dream because there was always something a little frightening about the Nutcracker to me as a little girl.
Mhm.
There's a rat and like cha and
Right,
Nutcrackers.
the
Uh,
teeth.
and so it was always a little frightening to me, or not, or like, or not foreboding, but like frightening, I guess.
Yeah, a little
And
dark, a little bit dark. Yeah,
it was a little bit dark, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's interesting too. That there is a little bit of that.
Mhm. I'm
Um,
talking about my like original response to that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because then you create so much distance. I'm trying to say I'm not still afraid of the
You're not afraid of. I
Nutcracker.
understand that. I do totally understand that. I mean, that's intentional. I think in the play.
Yeah,
Uh,
yes. Well,
yeah.
I have a dream, but it's not pulling me forward, so I'm not even going to go into it right now.
Okay.
But dibs on next week.
Okay. Yeah. We can save it if you want, or I'm happy to hear it now if you want. But
Um,
you.
no, I'll save it,
Okay.
and I will want to share it, but not right now.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for letting me share this stream.
Well,
And
thank you so much for sharing.
I think the reason that I was saying about the about the questions, the lightning dream work, was because I
Yes,
just feel like that's something that we are sort of teaching that.
yeah, sure. And
That's the
and
way.
I want to offer resources because I feel like my goal in this is just to open people up to exploring their dreams
Yes, and
and
that is
having a dream buddy or a family or bringing dreams back to our into our lives.
yes, yes, right. That
So
they have significance. They have significance in our psyche.
they do. And
Voices.
back to native cultures who had first thing in the morning, circle up, start the day together, and share the dreams. And then
Yes,
if there's a song in a dream, then by the evening, every single person in that village knows that song and can sing that song.
yeah,
It's just collectively
yeah,
connected.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah. I love that. I love that. Yes, and definitely bringing dreams in. So few people really do share their dreams,
And
and
that's really,
sometimes when they share dreams with me,
yes,
they sort of expect me to kind of like analyze it,
sure,
which
sure.
I don't mind doing, but also like it's a process. It takes time. So,
It does.
you know,
And I notice a lot of my friends, like, they didn't take the training, the dream training, but they're doing lightning dream work. They're using Robert Moss's
oh,
methods.
really?
Let's
Because
see. Yes, because I've been talking about it for so many years.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
Well, until next time.
till next time, thank you for joining us, listeners, and Holamode Metuki.